Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of the Unrelenting Alchemist, where we tackle the spiritual topics that you want to know about, and we do it with frankness and honesty and openness to ideas. This is Spirit War Part 2, when a cult is targeting you, and this is, in my way, a discussion of what you can do to protect yourself. Remember that spiritual warfare is not always loud, and it's definitely not theatrical. It's silent, it's strategic, it's cloaked in the ordinary. For those who ever found themselves targeted by spiritual groups, covens, cults, coordinated esoteric groups, the experience can be somewhat terrifying, can be surreal, can be very deeply isolating. But you are not powerless. There are ways to defend yourself against these attacks. There are sacred practices from many traditions, energetic hygiene, protective rituals, sacred symbols, sound-based defenses. When you use these with consistent application, these tools can give you an unshakable foundation of spiritual sovereignty. The first line of defense for me is journaling. When spiritual harassment begins, journaling is often your earliest refuge and your best friend. Writing helps to process and understand the thoughts and feelings and emotions that you're undergoing as you feel these spiritual attacks coming in. You look for patterns, you look for synchronicities, you document your dreams. You may have psychic premonitions, you may have paranormal experiences. Write it all down. You can have a paper trail to clarify that journey, and it will also allow you to review and think about connections between things that might seem unrelated in the beginning, but which you understand is all part of the systematic plan. As you write more and more, it gives you greater inner clarity. What did I experience today that felt off? What repeated itself this week? Where have I seen this pattern before? What dreams or visions am I having? Why am I having those dreams or visions? You also need to worry about energetic cleanliness. Cleansing isn't just a trend. It's an important aspect in your spiritual arsenal. Entities thrive on stagnation, on clutter, on stale energy. You want to keep your space energetically clean, and so your core tools may be, for starters, bells. Hang bells at doorways and windows. Their chimes cut through the dense energies and summon divine resonance. Every door in my house has got bells on it. As soon as I move that door, the bells are ringing. Smoke cleansing. Using frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, eucalyptus, dragon's blood, patchouli, nagchampa, white sage. So many incenses that you can use. And with your floors, you want to apply bleach or vinegar or holy water. You want to mop the floors. You want to sweep the floors. You want to get rid of that astral debris. In your light and your air, you want natural light to come into your home. You want to open the windows. You want the sunlight to come in. You want to shower yourself or take baths with intention. If you have to use salts in your baths, do that. Feel like a golden light is pouring over you. Feel like you are burning away the spiritual grime that is on you. You want to clear out clutter. You want to declutter your house. You don't want these corners that are stacked with things to become very stagnant and a place that might attract certain types of wrong entities. You also want to have a time for meditation, a time to strengthen your connection to the divine. Intention's everything. Meditation can help you open the third eye, but you must be careful because the more you do that, the more you may attract entities, spirits, and hidden energies. You just have to be certain that when you're doing it, you're attracting the right ones, not the wrong ones. You want peace, you want healing, you want clarity, you want to do that shadow work. And in terms of tips for safe meditation, state your intentions before the beginning. Only energies of light and love are welcome here. You want to make sure that you don't attract the wrong unwanted attention. You want to visualize white or golden light wrapping you in protection. You want to use music that helps to ground you. Chimes, ambient frequencies. And the benefits of this are that you'll have reduced anxiety. You'll have heightened discernment. You'll become more emotionally resilient. And you'll have the ability to hear your inner guidance amidst chaos. For me, it's important to hear that inner guidance because that's how spirit talks to me. That's how the hidden realm sends messages to me. You want to decalcify your pineal gland. Your third eye is often dulled by diet, toxins, spiritual neglect. A sharp pineal gland enhances intuition, and it also helps to bring spiritual vision into clearer focus. There are some tools you can use. You can use myrobalin, which is haritaki, chobtebula. These are ancient Ayurvedic medicines that are used to decalcify and cleanse. You want to use cowrie shells. These are used in a lot of West African traditions and Afro-Caribbean traditions, and they help a lot with foresight, divination, protection. You want to get in that sunlight. The morning sun exposure naturally activates your pineal gland. The more you let that sunlight beam onto your head, the more you soak up the rays of what I view as almost like a father or motherly presence, because I view myself as a child of the sun. You also want to maintain your defensive beliefs and practices, not ones rooted in fear, because evil doesn't always show up in a monstrous form. Sometimes it rides in on whispers, it may even ride in on bugs, small animals, electronics, seemingly harmless coincidences that actually are deeper than meets the eye. You want to have your daily defenses. Salt is very helpful. Oil is very helpful. Anoint your doorways with sanctified oil. Pray over the oil. Make it holy and then use it where you need to. Crystals, black tourmaline, that absorbs negative energy. Selenite is my friend. I have selenite everywhere. It invites angelic presence. Sigils, you want to create your own or use ancient ones. Draw them above your bed, on windows, over mirrors. There are lots of different sigils in lots of different cultures that you can make full use of. You also want to speak your intentions. You want to revoke any cords or any attachments or things that have clung onto you. You want to free these things from your space. You don't want them to constantly be in your auric field, trying to drain you, trying to bring you down. Every culture on earth has developed ways to protect your soul. There are many secret tools you can use to this effect. Altars, for example. This helps you to anchor in spiritual power. Keep your altars clean. Offer flowers, offer coins, offer incense, offer prayers. Libations. You can also pray over your water. And so by doing that, you can also throw that in different areas of your house to bring this cleanliness, this place where you can sprinkle this blessed water to continue to elevate your home. You want to make your home a sacred place of protection. Nsibidi, these are ancient protection scripts. These are sacred forms of African spiritual protection, and it's an ideographic script originating with the Khoi people of southeastern Nigeria as well as southwestern Cameroon. These pictograms, they date back to at least the 5th century AD, and they may be found on pottery, cloth, wood, and skin. They've been used by the Khoi, the Efik, the Ibibio, and the Igbo for communication, rituals, and even for secret gatherings. Some symbols are public, others may be for initiates. But these powerful symbols, just like the sigils that I discussed earlier, are good for finding ways to protect yourself from spiritual targeting. Using the visual forms will reconnect you to ancestral power. and to a lineage of protection that runs deep within your DNA. Your intentions are everything. You want to be the invisible fortress. No matter how many tools you use, your intention is the mortar that holds them together. Protection rituals are done not with fear, because fear invites more fear, but with knowing, with truth and authority, your sovereignty. Send shockwaves through the spirit world. Let everyone know you are not afraid and you are meeting this challenge head on. I am divinely protected in all directions, through all dimensions, at all times. I am a sovereign being. No energy may violate my field or my space, and I choose not to be quantum entangled with anything that's not for my highest good. What I bless blesses me. What I reject loses all power as I cut it off like a cancer. Visualize white or gold light radiating from your heart and surrounding your body. Reaffirm these things daily of what you want in your life and what you want out of your life. This does not have to be aggressive. This does not have to be combative. Sound is also important because sound is vibration, and vibration is reality. Your voice is your sword. Sacred mantras like Om, the primordial sound of creation. Om Mani Padme Hum, a Tibetan mantra of purification. Om Namah Shivaya, an invocation of divine destruction of illusion. Baruch Atah Adonai, this is a sanctifying, holy, divine name. Jesu Christe Elison, calling for mercy and divine light. Toning, humming. These deep hums, they clear the stagnant energy, stimulate the vagus nerve. Ah, ah. These vocalizations align your energy centers. Percussion can become protection. You want to clap your hands. You want to snap your fingers. You want to bang the drums. These actions scatter lurking energies. The bells, the singing bowls, the chimes, they vibrate, and it helps to bring your rooms into purity. You want to have those commanding words with wonderful intentions. Leave now. You have no authority here. By divine decree, the space is closed to you. You want to say it. You want to mean it. Let your voice be the vibration that evicts, because they're not paying rent. It's time for them to go. You don't do it in a overly combative way. And the reason why I say that is because the last thing you want to do is start a war of attrition where you're just going back and forth. The more you fight, the more it actually can become worse. Yoga is good here too. You want to use breathwork techniques. You want to strengthen your auric field. You want to raise your kundalini energy. You want to create your energetic barriers that repel hostile entities. But like I said, you don't want to get into a match of just exchanging blows back and forth. Getting into a knockdown, drag-out fight actually doesn't help a thing. In yoga, we have the tree pose, right, which is the Vrikshasana, right? And this grounds and stabilizes your energy field. We also have the camel pose, which is the Ustrasana, which opens the heart while activating the throat and the crown chakras. You have the corpse pose, which is the Savasana, which facilitates this deep surrender and cleansing. You want to have the pranayama, which is the breath control. You know, a lot of that, you may put a finger over one nostril, put a finger over the other nostril, and just breathe, alternating between the nostrils. Kapalabhati, which is skull shining breath. It helps clear stagnant energy and awakens your inner fire. Brahmari, which is bee breath, uses sound vibration to calm the mind and harmonize the internal energy. Right? Mudras for protection. Abhaya mudra, a gesture of fearlessness in your divine shield. Hakini mudra, which promotes focus and spiritual awareness. Practicing this kind of yoga with focus and intention and watching your breath. Breath is energy, breath is life. This becomes a dynamic shield, clearing these attachments, untangling the quantum entanglements, invoking your divine power, harmonizing your field, avoiding this sort of hostility and this negativity. Also, surviving spiritual attacks means knowing when to speak and when to be still. Not everyone can hold your truth. Some will even mock you. Others will listen only to betray you. You must be cautious because there is so much more that goes on out there that you would never know. You want to find a sacred community. Even two people praying together multiplies your protection. You also want to know when to disengage and retreat to rebuild. But nonetheless, there is power and strength in numbers if you have a circle around you can trust. Silence is sacred strategy. The energy cannot target what it cannot trace. That's why I've reduced my social media presence heavily, because I realize that when people focus and they look at images and they give certain types of intentions, this is how they get to you. What about the viruses? What about the bacteria? Sometimes I'll just take an antiseptic or an antibacterial agent and I'll just start spraying it around. People say, that's not spiritual. Well, think about it. Enemy entities can take hold of many things, whether it's small animals, whether it's bugs, even bacteria. You want to clear and cleanse and have positive vibrations. You want to clean the room. You want to speak the prayer. You want to reset the vibration. And you want to have consistency. You want to have your daily devotion over emergency responses. It takes a lot. For me, I have to remember. I give myself little things on my calendar to remind me, hey, don't forget your morning prayer. Don't forget your afternoon prayer. Don't forget your evening prayer. Don't forget your bedtime prayer. It's a checklist that I have to go through every day. And it's important because the consistency is what makes you powerful. You want to have that morning affirmation. You want to have the sound cleansing. You want to have the journaling of your dreams and visions. You want to have the cleansing rituals, physical and energetic. You want to have the protective affirmations. You want to set the intentions before you go to sleep. When you go to sleep with a certain frame of mind. And masonry is important too. If you've ever studied masons and how they design buildings and what kind of images they put on certain parts of buildings, they knew about all of this as well. They knew about the spiritual attacks. They knew about the dark entities. If you really get deep into the psychology of how they built many buildings, they built them exactly in mind that they knew dark forces would try to invade, and they set up defenses through the natural structure of the building itself. Journal. Have your bells in the doorways. Have your mantra coming off of your lips. Have the oil on your altar. Give your reverence to the Most High, to the divine, to the ancestors, to the angels. The war is real, but so is your protection. You are sovereign, you are sacred, and you are definitely, most of all, safe, because your intention is everything. You're chosen. The divine didn't send you here empty-handed. You have greater power than you will ever know inside of you. And if you are focused and you use those powers to the best of your ability, then no two-bit cult will ever be able to take you. Remember, frankincense, myrrh, dragon's blood, nag champa, sandalwood, white sage, palo santo, eucalyptus, agarwood, patchouli, peppermint, black tourmaline, selenite, clear quartz, hamza, evil eye, Nsibidi, sigils, crosses, diagrams, pictograms, your stars of David, your onyx, sea salt, holy water, blessed oil, vinegar, bleach, cowrie shells, myrobalan seeds, libation cups, ancestral altars, bells, singing bowls, clapping, chimes, humming, drawing those diagrams, using sound, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Mani Padme Hum, Baruch Atah Adonai, Jesu Christe Elison, Reiki, ancestral prayer, meditation, journaling, visualization, morning rituals, affirmations, setting boundaries. And even within architecture itself, we have the gargoyles, we have the boundary pillars, we have the marked entrances. This is just a small smattering of all that's out there, and I can't capture it all in a video of this size, but as I've said before, there's a lot of work for us to do. Stay sharp, stay sovereign. You are an unrelenting alchemist. Thank you for joining me in this sacred hour. I enjoy every time you come here. I enjoy your support of the Unrelenting Alchemist. And until next time, walk wisely, walk bravely, and when the dark calls, answer not with fear, but with fire and light. You can do this.
And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.